Hi, Scorpio. So this is going to be your December reading. I'm sorry they're a little bit late. I did some of the other signs, and then I got some messages from two from Virgo, and then a bunch from Scorpio. So I don't want you guys on my bad side. So I'm doing you first in the next batch. So here I am, and interesting messages that are coming through. I ended up going to see some live music last night. I'm in Thailand still right now, with one of my friends. She's a Taurus, and there was this interesting thread of underlying Scorpio energy going through her life that I could relate to, and we got into this conversation about subconscious psychic communication, especially that goes on with Scorpios. You guys are really wonderful at that. And I also have it a lot in my chart. I really resonate with the Scorpio parts of me. And I feel like for this sign, there's just been a lot of I want to say there was a huge chapter that is really wrapping up right now. It's like, check this off. This is like, you passed this, flying colors, and it feels like wrapping up the end of like an energetic, I don't want to say like take out the trash, but that's kind of what it feels like. I mean, it's all purposeful. It's all for a reason. It all adds to this, I feel like a power that's coming into you, or you're stepping into. It feels like next level. So I feel like a lot of things have been brought up. Maybe it's about what you do, who you're with, where you are. And it's kind of rewriting the story about how you want to move forward. So there's kind of an end to this. I don't want to say fear, but that's one of the angel cards that came up. Fear. Archangel Michael, help you through this present time. I love you, I protect you, and keep you safe. Trust that all is well, accept my love, and allow it to dissolve your fear. So with fear, I mean, there's a few situations that fear kind of inevitably tends to creep up in, especially when we're going through big changes, especially in matters of the heart. And, you know, they creep up in times of feeling unworthy. Am I enough? It's about getting what you know you... Again, it feels like there's this deep knowing within you, and there's little sprigs of like doubt around you flying around. So it's about kind of swatting those flies away, and really being open and honest about how you're going to move forward in your life, because it feels like a big umbrella, more so to do with lots of things, not just one topic, not just love, or not just where you work. It feels like there's a big reflection about everything in life going on right now. So it actually feels positive, but when you see fear or you feel it, and this creeps up in many forms, doubt, unworthiness, do I have enough money? Do I, not trusting. That's the energy of not trusting yourself, spirit. But yeah, and the next card, it says achievement. Take a little time to reflect on what you have achieved to date. It's often easy to forget where you started and how far you've come. Honor and be grateful for this extraordinary journey that is your life. Beautiful. And then two more cards. I'm just going to read them now because for me, these cards always tell me the direction of the reading. I use them a lot more in my personal readings, but it says a positive outcome requires a positive vision. Visualize everyone in your present situation surrounded by light and love. Make sure to include yourself also. Your love has the power to influence and transform the current events. And the last one, miracle. Our wings of light surround you and those you love. This current situation is governed by a higher power. The forces of love are at work. All will turn out well. So that's like trumping all of this fear, this, just having vision. It's this energy of love and knowing that this whole cycle has come to kind of a culmination, an end, right in time, in line with the new year. I feel like it's very much meant to be now where the transition happens. So if you're beating yourself up, I should have done this earlier, I should have changed this earlier, I should have seen this earlier, I shouldn't have done this to that person, or I have a grudge against, whatever it is. I feel like there's lots of clarity going on in your life, and it feels really positive. And I feel like now is divine timing, so don't beat yourself up. Okay, so let's see. What's the central energy for Scorpio for the month of December? What's the central energy for Scorpio for the month of December? Ooh. What's the central energy for Scorpio for December? This card fell out. So Six of Pentacles, it's about, for me, for you, before even this card even fell out, I was feeling a need to be, or wanting to be more grounded, more maybe in one place. But this is also about, getting blessings. This can be sometimes depicted as, the energy of the divine or of God, shelling out what we need, blessings, in the form of money. This can also be you helping another person, or you being helped. Again, with the vision card, to me, it's saying, really pray on what you want to come true. Because with endings come new beginnings. That's just inevitable. So for me, again, it's being pointed back to money, what we do, but also home and groundedness and what we need. It feels like, what kind of blessings do we need? What are we praying for? Because it feels like with this card, it almost like you were brought to this point of poverty. Whether it was in a relationship, like I just don't feel any love in my life, or it's work, I just don't have enough money. Like it was brought to the breaking point. That's what it feels like. So what's helping or hindering Scorpio? What's helping or hindering Scorpio? Strength. Wow. So strength always shows up when we need strength, right? So strength is about taming any thoughts of unworthiness, of not being enough, not having enough, not being able to have the skills to do something. Whatever it is, it's about self-doubt, and it's about needing to really kind of end that story in your mind. We're all kind of, a bit of divinity in like a nice little human body. So you are enough. You do have the tools. And this is saying, with the sign of infinity over her head, it's like you can have whatever you want. Have this vision. Again, there's something to do with land here. So, I'm feeling like it feels like the earthly things in life are very important right now. Like what you have, who you share it with, where you are maybe, relationships, what you do for a living. It feels like the energies around this. doesn't feel like it's around like healing your emotions. It feels like you kind of can kind of mostly, for the most part, I mean, we're always kind of evolving, right? It feels like for the most part you can check that part off for now, which feels like a big victory, actually. It does. What's in Scorpio's subconscious? What's their higher self leading them towards? What's in the position of Scorpio's subconscious? The Empress. So you guys have gotten this a few readings ago. This is Scorpio. This is Taurus, Libra, or Libra. This is a person. I mean, if you're a female, you could possibly be moving towards embodying this energy. But typically, when I see this in readings, it represents somebody of that sun sign or moon sign. So the Empress is abundant in kind of all aspects of life. Money, emotionally abundant, financially abundant, physically. Everything about this person, they're like kind of the Queen of Queens. So really powerful energy. And it's the number 3. For some reason, I'm being brought to the month of March, January, February, March. The Empress. And the Empress is, if it's a Taurus, this is also the energy of Uranus going into Taurus, which changes a lot of things for a lot of people. Relationships, where we live, who we live with, what we do for a living. It's about, the money. Uranus going into Taurus, because it's your opposite sign, it feels like that could change a lot for you. So if you're looking for new work, new purpose, all of this stuff, put in the intention for things to come to fruition for March. Interesting message. Uranus and Taurus is very big. I mean, I've been talking about this for a while. So this summer, you probably saw a glimpse of it, then it went retrograde. Not retrograde, it went back into Aries. And now it's about to go back into Taurus again. So it's like you got a glimpse, and then there was this pullback. You probably felt, probably made you go within, probably brought up a lot of things to the surface, and now it's about to go direct again. So some of you guys might have had a glimpse of what's to come last spring into summer. So April, May, June, July, August. So what's in the past for Scorpio? Ace of Wands, some sort of communication that brings growth. This happened in the past, so you probably know what this is. You could have been given this, or this could have been brought to you. Or it could be some sort of revelation. Some sort of revelation. That could definitely be the Ace of Swords. Wow. Powerful reading you guys have. 3 major arcanas now. Current energy is the Wheel of Fortune. Karma. Spinning in your favor. So if you've been in this downswing, dealing with any issues of the devil, right? Things we need to work on. Because I feel like life is kind of like a school sometimes to grow and evolve the collective consciousness. It feels like it's about to go in your favor. And this has to do with the fixed signs too. Scorpio, Leo, Taurus, Aquarius. There's something very fixed about this energy that I want to say. There's a want to be secure and to know what's to come. It's like there's a wanting to plan. wanting to grow, whether it's grow your own business, grow a relationship, something that build a home. It could be so many things. What's the future energy for Scorpio? Wheel of Fortune is a change. It feels like a big cycle, especially because I was talking earlier about Uranus going into Taurus. This is another huge cycle that's going to be very different than the last 7 years, at least 7 or more years in the past. I feel like this is kind of like a new paradigm for you guys. What's the future energy for Scorpio? What's the future energy for Scorpio? Queen of Swords. Looks like there's some sort of either this is you admitting it to yourself or you admitting it to another person. There's a truthful, possibly conversation or communication needed. Queen of Swords is, she can be very harsh. She's like, what is your truth? Don't come beyond the sword. Without it, I'll chop your head off, What do you have to say? So I feel like there's a need for you to be very clear about what you want. This is an energy. It doesn't necessarily need to be a person just because this is a general read. So it's the energy of, being very sure. I feel like this is a little bit of a test, too, for you to be really honest. What's in Scorpio's power for the month of December? What's in Scorpio's power for the month of December? The Magician. A new beginning. This is saying that you have all the tools to create the life, whatever thing you're trying to bring in. It's saying this is a new beginning, this is a new start, and there's infinite amounts of potential here. You have the tools to make this work, to be successful. It's a business, if it's a relationship, if it's a new home, whatever it is, it's going to be successful if you want it to be. It's saying the power is in your hands right now. What's external to Scorpio? What do they need to know external? What energy is external to them? What's external to Scorpio? The Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles brings in an offer of stability. It's like an offer of because Knights bring in the energy. So there's some sort of new stability, gosh, you guys have a very interesting reading. It's almost like a very broad energy. It's not like a situation. It's like creating this whole new paradigm almost. So there's slowly something coming your way, again, of the Earth suit. Let's get some more cards. What does Scorpio need to know? What does Scorpio need to know this month? Oof, the Hierophant. This is the card again. You have two cards of Taurus, but this is commitment. This is higher knowledge also. Higher institutions. I mean, for some of you, it could be, if you're trying to create like a new business, this could be going back to school. Some of you could be thinking about getting married. Some of you could be thinking about how to, it feels like improve your life in some sort of way, but involve some sort of commitment to something. Like, okay, I'm going to go in this direction and I'm going to, actually invest in it. What's the outcome for Scorpio? What's the outcome for Scorpio? You guys. Two of Cups. There's some sort of healing that happens. Two of Cups speaks for itself. There's some sort of soulmate love type energy here, but it's also about, like, if this is, you're not looking for love, this isn't like a relationship reading for you. This is also, a business. It could be it's not a business card, but this could be, since this is a general reading, an equal energy exchange. So it's almost like getting back more than you or equal amounts of energy that you give it, but it's like you have to consider all the energy behind you that you've worked for. So it's like this huge push of energy. I feel like there's some sort of healing, though, that comes in with this. I mean, it's just kind of undeniable under this Hierophant. The offer of stability, trying to manifest this. The hardest part about this, this is so funny. I was talking about this last night with my friend. It involves, this is the challenge I feel for you guys this month, really being forthright with what you want, really standing strong in your truth. So if something feels like an untruth, there's a need to change. Wow, this is a really wonderfully powerful, nice, beautiful reading. And it feels like things really move forward next year for you guys. Not that it's not moving forward right now, but it feels like right now, like the wheel is changing, is turning in your favor. Then it says there's a little next test here to communicate, speak clearly, even if this is with your own inner dialogue, admitting to yourself what you want. Yeah. You guys have two cards of, like, if some of you are trying to get married, there's two cards here of marriage. This is, a ring, and this is the Hierophant. I feel strongly that there's some sort of praying for more, like, stability. Praying for more gifts, and it's of the earth. This is the center of the reading. Having strength. Because it's scary sometimes when we get everything we want, right? Because then you can lose everything you want. So, strength, knowing that it will all work out. Knowing that this is what's your outcome. Well, let's clarify. Let's go beyond. Tell me about this Two of Cups. What do they need to know about this Two of Cups going forward? What is it about? All right, how can you clarify the Two of Cups? But let's just keep going. What's this Two of Cups for Scorpio? Ace of Cups. This is overflowing abundance, overflowing love. But it's after a period of struggle. The lily pads, or their lotuses, they represent, growing up through the mud, through the murky depths of kind of, our subconscious. I feel like there's been a lot of, like, drudging up and releasing, gunk from our, soul almost. Especially during Scorpio season, it felt like that was a highly reflective time. really deciding to kind of put certain things in motion, changes, really admitting to them. Again, you have a lot of kind of hands of God coming in to assist you. So this is the hand of God. There's angels overlooking, bringing these two people together. Like this feels, blessings coming in slowly from, again, to me, sometimes this is like God. They can come in many different ways to bring in blessings. It doesn't have to look like an angel. It can be somebody in everyday clothes, brings in blessings for you to move forward. Two new beginnings, but it requires, again, communication. Two cards about communication, and then it feels like you're home free. That's what it feels like. So, interesting reading, Scorpio. Hopefully this applies. I'd love to hear about how this applies to you if you guys so should feel like sharing. Scorpios do not feel like sharing, but I love to hear about how this affects you guys. It's I feel like it's nice to have a little community of people going through the same things. I find it very interesting and sometimes very helpful, especially when I see people that are going through the same things. It kind of helps me understand kind of the energies that affect everybody, and you don't feel alone, which is nice. All right, Scorpio. Until next time. Oh, if you guys want a personal reading, feel free to email me at the link below. All right, bye guys.